Yeah.
Feel pretty different than the last time around, or?
Yeah, it feels different, but it feels similar to the fights in between. You know what I mean? It just feels, yeah, way different from the last title. I mean, so much happens in a span of even a training camp. So you put everything in there that I've gone through, just maturity, experience, fights in general, it's training in general. Feels, yeah, it feels way different. But like, it feels bigger, and I'm doing more. So and I know there's an accomplishment at the end, and I feel even that like inspiration and motivation as a competitor. But in general, it feels like another fight, where the champion, the ones before that, they really didn't. They felt like there was something, you know, on a pedestal that was, you know, maybe taking too much thought and emotion, or whatever it may be. But yeah, for the most part, it feels like another good fight week.
Yeah, different opponent, right? Not Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah,
this time
different.
around.
Yeah, different opponent, like all that stuff. Like there's so much different about it, Like fight to fight, everything's different. The way you feel. Like I believe in a night. You fight 10 minutes later. The fight's gonna be different. So, put everything that I've gone through in that span of time. I mean, yeah, it's way different. Opponent, you know, at the most simple basis.
What do you think is the most dangerous thing about Davidson?
Um, I mean, he's aggressive, and he hits hard and tries to hurt you on the feet. I mean, that's, I think, probably his best thing. Yeah.
Was there a point where it felt like maybe this wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, since going all the way back to my last loss to DJ, I mean, there was a point where, you thought about that, and hey, how the heck could this happen? But I always believed, and the people around me always believed. I mean, a lot of the times more than I did in myself. I would be like, dang, well, I got to beat up everybody. And then, you know, after that, it was, I always just tried to keep the same faith. Like, I'd lose the fight, the second one, and just know, I got to beat everybody else up, or DJ has to lose, you know. Um, when DJ finally did lose, you know, I was coming off of ACL surgery, and I lost as well. That, should have never happened. That I actually block out of my mind. It's weird I mentioned it, but then even then, I'm making up. I know the faith and the conviction. Like there's these roundabout ways. Like, well, this could happen, and then at least the guy that, even though I lost, the guy that beat him, um, I had just beat. That's great. All you gotta do is get a few. We already have a rivalry, and then the thing with him happened. Getting another belt, and it was just like there was so much turning. But yeah, I always just kept the faith, and my wife just, like, she knows me so well and believes in me so much, and was always just like, look, your journey's always just been like funky and wavy and all the way through, and like that's just like who you are, and like how you do things. I don't know why, like, but you're gonna accomplish what you need to do. It's just sometimes a hard way or a different way in general. And I was always like, yeah, that makes sense. And then like I get this fight, and then like, you know, different way. It's on a freaking leap year day, which is like rare and unique. And I'm just like, okay, like she was right. It all makes sense. So yeah, I just, in a way, I looked at every way it could happen and was comfortable with it. Like the things I couldn't control, like the division being gone and just like this not happening, but I controlled everything I could, which I'm getting so much better at. But at the same time, I always believed. But yes, I came to peace with every way that, the thing could go.
Obviously, Davidson's a dangerous guy. He's ranked third. But is it frustrating at all that it's not Henry? I mean, you've got history, you've got the win over him.
No, honestly, not at all. It's honestly refreshing. This is like beautiful. We're like in a quiet place. It's peaceful. Like a quiet town. We're right by the beach, and it's just low key. It's nice. I think it'd be just a circus with Triple C, and not to mention, like I already beat him and fought him, and the goal is to win a title, not to beat a guy that you've already beat. Like that's the last thing you want to do, honestly. I mean, the only thing that's appealing to him is the title, not him. So, it's always been about the title, not necessarily fighting him again. So, I think it'd be harder if it was DJ or something, or someone that beat me, and it's like, I'm never gonna beat them, but at least I'm getting the title opportunity. I already beat the guy, and it was up to him to not come and try to avenge the loss and not put up a fight and go do something else. So yeah, so it's easy with me knowing I already have a win over him.
How do you feel this UFC title solidifies your spot in the UFC All Event? And does that matter to you?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge accomplishment and goal. I would like to be in the Hall of Fame in that regard. Like as a competitor, that's why you start winning. You want to win the world title. You want to be the best ever to do it. You want people to talk about you years after. You want to be, enshrined on a plaque that people can see time after and be like, dang, that guy was amazing. I love watching that guy. Just the simplest things like that. Like, is that the most important thing? No, but like as a competitor, it is. The competitive side of me, the time I put in to this and the, big portion of my life I've dedicated to it. Like, yeah, of course, like that. Those accomplishments mean a ton.
Do you think you get in with or without the title?
I don't know their protocol, but hopefully, yeah, maybe, yeah.
What do you see your title reign looking like? What kind of champion do you want to be?
It's gonna sound crazy, but I don't even like want to fight anyone at like another weight class or like another gender or anything like that. Like I just want to fight the next best guy in my division. So I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I just believe in that, and fighting the next best guy in this division that I've been in since the start. I think more people should do that, and it's really hard to execute the 2 weight class double champion stuff without, like, I felt kind of the wrath of, you know, um, how people and their wait time and their, career can kind of be on hold, for one person. So yeah, I just want to keep building um, my division and keep going there, find the next best guy. I know it doesn't make sense, I know,
Unprecedented.
but yeah, but yeah, that's what I want to do. And then just important, just be the same me that I was that got me there, as far as like a reign goes. Like, what else can you do? Everything doesn't change. You feel more accomplished, and there's a lot to attain and hold up to. But I feel like I've been doing that and living that way my whole career anyway. So
Who do you think the next best guy is after this one?
I don't know. I mean, Formiga is probably the next best guy, but I beat him twice. So yeah, I mean, it's different. Like the flyweight division is so new. Like we've literally, in every other division, you can look at people guys beat from another generation and kind of compare them to that. You can be like, oh, well, he beat, a Shogun as he was coming out, or him who used to be a title contender. We've only had really one generation of title contenders, and this is only like really the second wave of people. So you can't be like, he beat him, who beat, like when a John Jones comes in an established 205 division, you can be like, oh, he beat former champ, because there was former champs and contenders. When Demetrius comes in and beats guys, they were brand new contenders, but because the division was new. So we're only on like a second wave of people. So, it's hard to determine, but I mean, I think there's a lot of talented guys out there in the top 10.
There's probably an argument to be made that Henry saved the division. He certainly thinks so, but just based on what you're saying, do you think it's time to kind of bring the focus back on the flyweight so you can find those next contenders?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a good job now. I mean, as far as the focus goes on it, making the title fight, making it the main event. I mean, I think everything's moving in the right direction as far as that goes.
I know you're a movie buff. If
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes well.
Shit,
Saturday.
gonna get started now. Let's do it.
It's kind of a silly question, but who plays you in the movie version of your life?
I don't know. My son, maybe. My future son. I think that'd be funny. Shia LaBeouf style. And Honey Boy. But I don't know. That's a tough one because at this point, I mean, my favorite actors are pretty much, adults. Um, so that would be weird. I want to say Timothy Chalamet just because he's hot, but that we don't look alike at all. So that'd be kind of weird. Um, maybe my future son or someone that's not even there. But yeah, but I like this.
I noticed you mentioned that Lady Bird was one of your favorite movies for a long time.
Yeah, of the decade. That's my number one.
Just as a huge fan of Greta Gerwig, did you like Little Women?
I did love Little Women. Yeah, that was like probably in my top 10 of the year, like number 6 of the year, because I went and I love the cast, as you just, I had just mentioned. I loved the movie before. Lady Bird was like my favorite of the decade. But that was actually my first introduction to the Little Women story, period. Like, the Little Women story, that it's been remade. But then I go to this one and I was just like fully engaged the whole time, every character, every word written. And then I just left and my wife had seen like every version of it. She's like, yeah, it was a really good version. And I was like, that's amazing. Like, no wonder it's such a famous story and it's redone every time. Like, it's like a perfect story. So yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Is there any
Thank you.
Is there any part of you that feels like the division is still kind of on thin ice after Cejudo? Because there was still all that talk. It was only a year ago about how the division might not be sticking around.
I haven't got a sense of it, honestly. From what I see, and hear and feel, it's not really for me to worry about. Like, I've just come to the point where, I worry about what I can control in every way. So that stuff I kind of, it's not something I even think about, and it's definitely not even anything from a realist standpoint that I sense, at the moment, especially as much as we used to.
Not counting like a fight results, is there anything you would change about your career that you've done up until this point?
You know what? No. It's crazy. Like, I've had some ups and some downs, obviously, but like that's what I think makes everything sweet. That's what makes like this moment and the win, even before and everything. Like, it builds you as a person. It builds the relationships around you that I have. That's the most important thing in your life. Like, the people that are there for you when it's low and it's high. And it built those relationships. I was able to see so much of that and feel that love and build that relationships like forever. So no, it's built me into, as a fighter, yeah, you want to win every fight, but in life that is way more colossal than just fight. Like, it built me to exactly who I am, which I wouldn't change, or the people around me that I would change. So no, it's great. And then like, even fight wise, I look at fights, I'm like, well, honestly, if I would have won the first title, who knows if I'd be here now at the top. I've had something, not a chip on my shoulder or whatever, but an inspiration that like has kept me at the top now for, 1 or 2 in the world for 10, 13 years or whatever. But it's like, what if that would have happened? I would have won the first title. Where does that go? If I would have won the second one, would this happen? Even if I would have won after my ACL and got this shot, 3 fights ago against Cejudo, it's just I look at everything and it's weird. Like, I don't believe in like a huge like romantic, like destiny, meant to be kind of stuff. But I just look at all these coincidences that have just, you know, pop up and the way things are supposed to go. And I'm like, I wouldn't change anything because, you know, I'm happy. I might not be as happy that something gone another way.
How's Benny?
Oh, Benny's the greatest. He's a prince. My wife will show you all the pictures from the dog sitter on her phone if you're very interested. But no, but he's awesome. He's the greatest. He knows what's going on. I can't wait to see him. Honestly, he have no idea. He'll just want me to feed him when I show him the belt. But like, I still want to show him. So yeah, no, he's great. He's at his dog sitter, and she's a great dog person that like gives updates and she's like, look how cute they are, look how cute. But he's just laying there, but it's still cute. So yeah, I love him. I wish he was here. Honestly, he loves the beach.
What's up with Dapper Scrappers? You haven't posted there in a while.
I haven't posted in Dapper Scrappers in a while, and I've been busy trying to do some other stuff, but also the fights just haven't been happening. So a lot with the Dapper Scrappers is I get to go to the fights, you know, and that's how, you know, I get the access. So I travel with my wife, travel with the team, get the access. But when she travels now and I'm in camp, I'm not typically going to go to the fights to do this. So that's why it's been on hold, and we'll be back in a big way next week in Vegas for the pay-per-view, March 7th. So that's always a good one. That always brings out, I think, some of the best shoots and best outfits and everything for us. So we'll be back in a big way this week, but it's just been I haven't been able to travel with fight camp and stuff. But regardless, I need to do better at just keeping updated on it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
very
Joe.
much.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Good questions.